The Critshow contains elements of horror, fantasy violence, and adult language. Content warnings can be found in the episode description.
Are you guys familiar with the concept of like accidental trilogies in film?
What?
Yes.
Like movies that share something that is enough to maybe mislead somebody into believing that they are all part of the same trilogy, but they're not.
Like somebody going to see 28 Days and then thinking like, oh, I'll go see 28 Days Later.
Yes, exactly. Or even like, there's different ways for it to happen. Like just the posters for 3 movies look extremely similar. And so like it seems like they should all be in the same universe. Mm-hmm. Does anybody have any like that you were like, I assumed these were the same thing and they're not? My brother introduced me to this concept, and the one he pitched was The Way, which is a movie about a guy who goes to recover his son's corpse who is doing like a pilgrimage and then takes the pilgrimage himself. The Way Back, which is a Ben Affleck high school basketball movie. And then The Way, Way Back, which is a coming-of-age film about a boy going on vacation.
Nope, wouldn't have thought of it. Love that.
28 Days and 28 Days Later. Like, that's excellent.
I saw one when I was looking this up last time we were talking about it that I really loved. That was kind of, this is the theme, and it's, we got to go rescue that asshole Matt Damon. So it's Saving Private Ryan, Interstellar, and The Martian.
Yeah.
And then there's also Waiting for Matt Damon to Remember Stuff, which is Bourne Trilogy, Good Will Hunting, Dogma.
That's wonderful. Oh my God.
What about the Rachel McAdams is engaged to a time traveler?
Yeah.
Trilogy.
Rachel McAdams' love interest travels through time.
Yeah. Time Traveler's Wife, About Time, what's it? Midnight in Paris.
And
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
The quadrilogy. We're all familiar with the like blue and orange or the cyan and orange movie poster phenomenon thing, right?
Oh, yes.
Everybody knows about that. That's just it's just similar. Like I've seen ones where people will take, it was like, this is the weirdest trilogy ever, and it's just 3 posters that have that color
like
scheme.
A Star Wars movie.
Yeah. And like the Aladdin live action remake or something. But where it's like the exact same color scheme on the poster, the same arrangement of text, all those, just the ones where it's like 11 actors from the waist up in a V shape or something stupid.
Oh, that's delightful.
I had to do a project in one of my media classes in college. I don't remember what the objective was. I just remember that I had to go to a video store and take a photo of as many movie covers as met that trope as possible. We all had to maintain like a WordPress blog for our professor to check, and I just had to post like 78 different photos, every single movie I could find that had the orange and blue cover.
Hey, but if it works, why not keep using it? Matter of fact, when are we getting the Critshow poster in that style?
The orange and blue?
Yeah.
It's like your favorite color combination, isn't it?
It literally is. It's what I call the Hardee's effect.
What?
Orange and blue. The Hardee's
What?
logo.
Hardee's has blue in their logo?
Yeah. The old school did anyway.
I have to look up a Hardee's.
What is a Hardee's?
Hardee's is a fast food. God, I can't do this with you again.
Certainly you have Carl's Jr. out there.
Yes.
That's the same thing.
Okay.
See, this is all the Hardee's I'm used to is just a red and yellow
star. That is kind of the newer. The old school used to be that like neon orange and blue sign. That was always near and dear to my heart.
I found another spin-off series. An American Tale, An American in Paris, An American Werewolf in London, An American Werewolf in Paris, and An American Rhapsody.
I've seen other like people who will sort of ascribe an accidental trilogy, but really it's just an actor gets typecast. Like there's one that's like Ryan Gosling, and it's just like angsty Ryan Gosling stares silently into the distance or something. It's like Drive and
Blade Runner.
Yes, Blade Runner was one of them. I can't remember what the third one is.
Place Beyond the Pines, probably.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I don't even know what that is. What is that?
That's good. It's like, I don't, it's a, boy, if I were about to explain it, I would spoil a lot of the movie, but Ryan Gosling is he starts as like a stunt motorcyclist that ends up robbing a bank, and then it spirals out of control from there.
That's the precursor to the new movie coming out, isn't it, with Ryan Gosling, where he plays
Fall Guy or something?
Yeah, where he plays a stuntman.
Yeah.
Baby driver.
Go on.
Boss baby.
Yes.
$1 million baby.
That's a great one.
Good.
Is that the order they go in?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, man.
Like it's the evolution of their financial situation.
I was. That's way better. I was thinking baby driver to taxi driver to something else. Like he was increasingly becoming a better driver.
I think in the first one, it's like a driving Miss Daisy situation where he works for someone rich, and then he has a driver, and then he's just rich and doesn't go anywhere.
That's perfect. Kim, you are kneeling over what at this point you're confident is the body of Tass out here in the desert. The gigantic creature that you disabled and has been thrashing about actually starts to take off at a pretty quick clip back towards the edge of the anvil.
I let the Scuttler go. I think I have to be confident that we hopefully bought Rev and Megan enough time to do whatever it is that they're doing. I'm just kneeling on the ground holding Tass. I don't want to leave him. I don't think I want to move him either.
Rev, Megan, and Jumbo, you have placed your silverware in the wall of the cliff and started to lower yourselves down towards the entrance in the face of the cliff below. It doesn't take very long. Again, this mechanism is in good shape for going down, so it is only a matter of seconds before you descend far enough that the edge of this opening is impending. Are you trying to do anything before you hit that point, or are you just going right down, kind of crossing the event horizon to see what exactly that hole in the wall is?
No, I do think taking a look first is probably going to be necessary just in case it has like a bunch of babies in there or something. That would be terrible. We just like, all right, let's get in here. Sloop. And we're just nom 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 nom.
Unless they're like adorable and loving.
That might be great. And then we could ride them out of here.
Mounts.
We get new mounts. Your horses are like, hey, fuck you guys.
You can go back to being wheels.
Okay, why don't you read a situation then?
7.
Okay, you get one question.
I guess what's my best way past?
So you slow the lift at the right point where you are just kind of peeking the top edge of this opening. And what you are looking at is kind of similar to the mine that you had approached in the Jackalope Flats from the edge. You are looking at a colossal open chamber. But whereas the mine had been like kind of like a pocket, you know, like the pathways beyond it up and out of the mine were like smaller people size. This looks like one giant tunnel that extends deep back into the anvil, further than you can see. There are no babies or any other creatures here, as far as you can tell. There is, however, evidence of the fact that this is what the Scuttler must call home. There are bones of other creatures in piles. There are just pieces of detritus. There are like shiny trinkets that it seems like maybe it has collected and brought back here. Occasionally down the length of the tunnel, you can see pinpricks of light, as if there are cracks or channels that lead back up to the surface. They're pretty small, they're pretty few and far between, but it does look like that would be a way to get back up and out, if need be, assuming that's the objective. Otherwise, just proceeding down the darkness of this tunnel to wherever it goes looks like a pretty open opportunity.
Okay, I don't see any movement in here, but there's light up ahead down that tunnel. I think we can get out there.
Okay.
You lower the lift down until you can step out. It takes a little bit of maneuvering, a little bit of momentum to kind of swing yourself properly to the edge, but you are able to step free of the lift, all three of you, and back onto solid ground within this cavern. The three of you start making your way into the darkness, and as you do, you feel a telltale rumble, the sensation of something gigantic thundering in your direction.
All right. Keep looking to see if you can find a way out of here. I'm going to try to push it out the door once it comes in the door.
Okay, but if that's not working, just hurry.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to give it one shot and then run.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, so Rev, you're posting up, and Megan, you are looking for a way out?
Yeah, I'm taking Jumbo with me, and we're just trying to get to one of these, like, streams of light.
You're not going to have any trouble locating one of these. You already spotted them from the outside. It's just going to take you a couple more minutes to get to one. Rev, you feel this thundering of footsteps get heavier and heavier. You can feel it kind of transition from the flat of the anvil above you to the wall of the anvil outside before you see the Scuttler crest the opening of the cave from above, just kind of walking down and under, like clinging to the ceiling, trying to make its way inside.
Yeah, so essentially what I'm trying to do is, as it makes that curve and lifts one of its front legs to grab from the wall onto the ceiling, I'm going to try to force blast it backwards.
Okay, this is going to be a big going weird because it is a big creature.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be at level 7 for a creature the size of a locomotive.
6. I would like to spend a point of grit. I've got 2.
What are you invoking?
Boy, I think I'm invoking my twist. That I try to disguise my abilities, and so it is super focused through this gun, and as opposed to, like, if I had done it with my hands, it might have been too spread out, but because it's through the barrel of this gun, it's like a super focused beam of force.
Okay, spin that grit. You blast the Scuttler's leg, and it loses purchase. It falls to the bottom, to the floor, and partway out the tunnel, but it manages to bite in enough that it does not plummet all the way to its doom. You can tell that you have set it back enough that you're going to have time to get into this channel and out of its way, though.
All right, I will turn and follow Megan out.
Okay. Megan, you and Jumbo find one of these points of light, and he's able to kind of help you up into it. You know, it's poking out from up the wall, like not the ceiling. It'd be tough to reach the ceiling, but a bit of a climb to get up to one of these channels, but it'll fit you. It'll fit each of you in single file. And as you're making your way up into it, you see Rev blast this thing once and then come sprinting in your direction, and the three of you are able to climb in. Rev, you bring up the rear, and as you do, you can see that the Scuttler is getting back up into the tunnel on all of its feet. And as you get out of its path, you can see it come sprinting down, and it just tears past where all of you are with no consideration. It doesn't stop to sniff at you, look for you, mess with you at all. You can see that its tail is blasted off, and it seems like it's in a hurry to get somewhere else further down.
Did you see that?
Yeah. Oh my god.
They blew its tail off.
It's a half of a scorpion. How is it still going? How did it not bleed out?
Isn't that a thing scorpions can do? Like lose parts and regenerate?
I thought that was lizards. We gotta go.
Yeah.
All right, so you all start climbing up. It's quite narrow. At times, it's uncomfortably narrow, and it takes some minutes. You know, it is not a sheer vertical climb, but fairly close to it, all the way back up the couple thousand feet. I would estimate half an hour to make this climb before you all breach the surface again into the blazing sunlight and the dusty air. And as you make it back to the surface and look around, in the distance, you can see a couple of figures, one of which is lying on the ground, one of which seems to be kneeling next to them. Kim is the one kneeling, Tass is the one lying, and he looks to be severely damaged.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Tass? Kim, are you okay?
Tass is dead. We were fighting it, and he fell, and he wasn't moving, and I was trying to buy time and to stop the Scuttler, and I blew its tail off, and then by the time that I got to Tass, it was he's gone.
No, maybe he's still in there. I'm gonna try to reach out telepathically to Tass and see if I can connect with him like I did the one time with Jake.
It is clear to you that there's nothing going on inside his mind.
Cam!
In an instant, Cam materializes next to you.
Something happened to Tass. Is he here still? Have you taken him on?
He, it's like taking him a second to process what's going on, and even kind of like where he is. What? No, what happened?
He's dead. You haven't seen him?
Cam looks down at him, and he looks confused. He's dead?
Well, isn't he?
Well, yeah, but kind of.
What does that mean?
I don't know. He's like anchored or something. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, this has happened before, right, Rev? Before I met you guys, has died. He blew up, right?
Yeah. So maybe he's like back home. It's hard to say. Like if we don't belong here, if we die here, I don't know what happens to our souls, especially if you don't see it.
I mean, I can't. It's not here. It's not here for me to take. Something is here. An echo or.
Can you talk to it?
I can't even. You see him like he's like reaching out with hands and like as if they're passing through something intangible. I can't connect with it. I can't lay hands on it. I couldn't take him to the other side even if I wanted to.
We got to get him back. Maybe James or Ferguson or somebody knows something that can bring him back, put him back together.
Yeah, no, we need the body because it was a ritual last time. We had a bunch of gems that poured energy into him, and one of them had his soul in it. We need the vessel.
Okay.
Okay.
We don't have time. We can't go back yet.
What do you mean?
We have so much we have to do here. Yet we haven't even finished this rune, and we still have to get to the middle.
Well, no. Surely we can just go back and bring him back, and then we'll finish it with Tass.
I know what he would say if he was here. We got to finish this first because we can't risk this going wrong while we're gone.
Can we get him back to the train? I mean, from here, it's not like we really are going to continue on around the circle, right? We've got to figure out how to get to the middle.
I forgot to even ask. Did you do it?
No, not yet, but we figured out how, and we've got it set up, but we've got to get back and finish that.
I don't know about bringing somebody back from the dead. I cart him one way and one way only.
Can you fly him back to the train?
Yeah, of course. Cam actually kneels down and reaches a hand out and places it on Tass's chest. And the instant he does, Tass's body starts to dust. It just starts to disintegrate into dry particulate that blows away.
No, what's happening?
No. I'm going to try to keep him together. I think it's not even I'm not planning this out. I think I am just literally grasping at nothing, but I'm doing it with my mind.
I mean, I'm not going to make you roll anything because there's no chance that this works.
Yeah, I don't think I actually get anything. I think it's slipping through my fingers.
And Cam actually recoils pretty quick. No, I didn't. But Tass's body dissolves bit by bit, blowing away until the only thing left are his golden guns.
I'll pick those up.
Cam again stands up, holding his hands up. I didn't do that. That was not an effect that I willed into happening.
So is he gone? Do you still sense any part of him here or whatever you sensed before?
You see Cam's bat ears kind of twitching, like he's trying to pick something up. And he looks around a bit, and then his eyes settle on the guns. There's a bit of him in there. Not even him exactly, but an energy that he had within him. It's within those.
That was the last thing that he said, was to make sure that these stayed safe.
I'm going to scoop up a handful of his ashes and put them in a pouch.
You scoop up a handful, and it's hard to tell what's Tass and what's the dirt, but you get it squared away.
All right, let's get going.
What all do you still have to do?
The rune is on the side of the cliff. We've set something up. I just have to go set it into motion.
Okay.
And I just start walking towards the edge to where we have the lift set up.
I think that I stand there for a second looking down where Tass's body was. Oh, God. I hope we know what we're doing. I'm going to turn and go.
I think Cam falls in step with you, Rev. I'm so sorry. Is there anything I can do?
I mean, in a second, if you can keep an eye out or an ear out, the other places that they've gone to when they broke the third circle, the last place they had to go to kind of made itself known. So the quicker we can get through this and get home, the better chance I think we've got of figuring this out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I put the guns into my belt and follow the rest of the group. And as I'm walking towards the edge of the cliff, I'm just trying to have visions of the fight with the Scuttler and just trying to see anything I could have done differently that might have resulted in Tass living. I'm trying to look to see where I made a mistake.
Yeah, I think you just see a million possible outcomes. Somewhere Tass lived, somewhere you died, somewhere you both made it, somewhere neither of you did. And you realize it's nothing else you could have done. It was just bad luck.
Yeah.
You all make your way back over to where the lift is mounted. Peeking over the edge of the cliff, you can see where it's hanging. You don't see any sign of the Scuttler. What do you want to do?
I want to use telekinesis to raise the lift until it is right at the point we set up.
Okay. You reach out and lift it up. And as you do, Jumbo and Cam actually are each like taking in line on either side, coiling up the slack and getting it like secured.
As soon as that's done, I use my mind to raise it up level with me and push it out as far as the line will take it. And then I just completely let go.
You release your hold and it falls. All the slack comes out of the lines. It rockets at an angle back in towards the face of the cliff. And you hear a perfect metallic on metallic impact. The crunch of stone, and you see a chunk of the cliff face fall away beneath you. As it does, there is that sensation of depressurization like a bubble popping. A wave of energy washes up the cliff face and over all of you. You hear a crack of thunder, and you see Cam drop to a knee, clutching his head and shrieking in pain.
Are you okay?
Oh, God! Oh, the sickness, the corruption, it just got so much stronger.
Oh, God, it should be the opposite, I thought.
Like everywhere, or do you sense it from a particular place?
It's like it washed up the side of the anvil. He turns, kind of like squinting one eye in pain, and he looks up at the top of the spike, and you can see storm clouds seem to be gathering up there. It's like it washed up there, but it came from underneath us. It's like a dam broke. What's down there?
I feel like my character knows more than I do.
Oh, God, always.
So having seen runes from previous circles and just being a practitioner of magic in general, can I try to piece together what is happening here? Is the Scuttler the source of the corruption with his weird poison gland thing, or was that just a byproduct of all this? Or
Rev, why don't you just use a skill with weird? Because I don't think this is exactly a going weird, and it's not exactly a read a situation, but it's kind of a miasma of these various facets. But I agree, I think you should be able to suss this out.
Consulting magical knowledge, and I've seen these things.
If there was a knowledge arcana skill,
yeah,
I'd have you roll it.
Okay. 7.
All right. You don't think that the Scuttler's the source of this. It is, of course, tied into all of this, and is probably itself a symptom of whatever this sickness is. And when it got hurt, it ran for something. Right past all of you, deeper into the heart of the anvil. Whatever dam just broke is in there. And I think as you are trying to put these pieces together, trying to sense, smell the magic sense again, it's just a little too much. It's a little bit disorienting. You're just going to take a -1 to your next weird roll.
Megan, when the Scuttler ran past us, I think maybe it was running to the center of it all.
You mean the center of the anvil?
Yeah, and maybe the center of the circle.
I mean, that makes sense. I was worried it wasn't paying attention to us, not out of fear, but more though it was going to go heal or something. Maybe there's something there that it could feed on or keep it alive. But yeah, that makes sense.
Whatever's at the core of this, whatever's poisoning this place, seems like it's in the middle of the anvil. Maybe that's why it rose up higher than the rest. There's a pocket or something there.
Yeah, I always guessed that the spike would be our 4th location. I guess I just always thought up, not underground.
Kim, do you think you could look through the Scuttler's eyes?
I mean, I saw through Cam's before. I think it's worth a try.
Yeah, you can give it a shot.
Okay.
Let's go weird at level 5.
11.
Okay. Your eyes go white and you are seeing through the gaze of the Scuttler, which is in and of itself disorienting because it's a lot of eyes.
Yeah.
You are perceiving angles you have never been able to perceive before. But you can see that you are somewhere in deep darkness, in a cave or a tunnel, the only source of light being a vein of something, like an ore that's running through the wall of the tunnel. It's glowing kind of like an amber and then a cerulean, the colors shifting a little bit, but it seems warm. it seems like energy. It seems like life. And the Scuttler is huddling up against it with its tail rested against this vein. And you can see that bit by bit, it is healing. It is recovering. But at the moment, the Scuttler just seems like it's nested, basically. It is just holing up here, bearing down, trying to get well.
As the vision fades, I want to pull out my sketchbook and just start trying to draw this tunnel and the vein that I saw. There's something underground. Cam's right. It's this vein of this glowing energy is the best way that I can describe it. It was shining all sorts of colors, or at least I think it was. I'm not sure if maybe the Scuttler can see things that aren't on a human's color spectrum, but it was glowing a whole bunch of colors, and the Scuttler was pressed up against it, and it was healing itself.
This kind of looks like the energy lines that were in the ghoul tunnels where we found my grandpa.
Yeah, this is the ley line. The magic here's so strong. I wonder if it's also corrupt.
Or it's being poisoned. I look up at the thunderstorm at the top of the spike. What do you think's up there?
Can we see the top of it through the clouds?
Yes.
I want to get my scope out and see if I can make anything out, especially now that I know, like, oh yeah, there's this weird shifting ore. Like, is there a peak of it or anything?
Yeah, you look through your scope and you can tell that the storm is above the top of the spike, but there's not enough real estate to get a proper angle to, like, see the surface. You can tell that it does not, like, just taper to a point. There is a flat surface that is the top of the spike, and you simply don't have a way to see past that edge.
It could be any number of things. It could be a smaller circle that's channeling from the larger one in the middle. It could even be the center circle. I mean, but all that power is coming from below.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Do we spend our energy trying to get up there and deal with whatever's there, or do we have to go underground and deal with this first? I hate the thought of being stuck underground, but maybe it would give us an edge?
The Scuttler seems pretty holed up along that particular section of the ley line. I don't know if we could find, maybe now that we know what we're looking for, Rev, if you think we could find another vein of that ley line.
Yeah, I mean, all the ones that I've dealt with in the past, they were kind of like lightning bolts. Like, they would go and then branch off and keep going. So it's possible that there's another pathway, but it's hard to know if the tunnel that the Scuttler was going through was created because of the size of the ley line and that energy being used up, and so it left a hollow, or if it burrowed there.
Yeah.
Cam, do you think you could fly up and get a better view of what's up there? We at least could maybe that way know if we're supposed to focus our attention there or go underground first?
He shakes his head. He says, I'm sorry, but no, I can feel that corruption spreading. It's hitting me pretty hard, and I'm afraid that if I get any closer to the source of it, I'm going to lose myself again.
Oh boy, would it be possible for me to try and go weird and create like a mental shield for Cam?
Maybe. I'm hesitant because even though I am describing this as him like holding his head and stuff,
it's not a mental effect.
It's not a brain thing explicitly.
Gotcha.
It's like radiation. It's just like through like the pores in your body.
Yeah. That's like the clean room did. Like he'd need like a suit.
like a dive suit.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, never mind.
That was a good idea, though.
That was a good idea.
Could I, this is something that I could do in the other world, can I create a circle and try to scry on the top of the mountain? See another time or place?
Yeah. You can see like where the spot you need to see is.
Yeah.
Which I think is plenty. So I think because you want to like take the time to set up a circle and everything, this is going to be a ritual. Rituals require that you go weird at least level 5, which I think makes sense. The level 5 visions effect is short visions of the past, present, or future. I mean, this is not going to be a short vision, but you are also like taking the time to invest in the setup so that it's not. So why don't you roll to go weird at level 5?
Okay. 11.
Perfect. You mark out your spell circle and you open this window. What you see is a vast, barren expanse, much like a lot of the surface down here. The top of the spike looks like it is nearly the size of one of these territories. Like it's a big chunk of land. And there doesn't seem to be a damn thing on it. You can see a bit of drizzle coming down from those storm clouds, hitting the ground and puffing up some of the dust. You see what at a glance looks like it might be like stones or roots, but on further investigation, looks like bones. Just lots of little bones scattered all over the place, like bird bones. You see among the bones patterns carved into the ground. It looks like runes, and they look like they make a significant diameter up here. That it may very well be the entire top of the spike is within this spell circle. But a figure drifts into frame from out of the corner of your vision. Humanoid, tall, very slender, wearing a long duster coat that is tattered, weathered. You can see sunlight streaming through it. A hat in similar condition. They're walking perpendicular to your line of sight, and you can't quite make out their face, but you see them reach very quickly towards their hip and draw a revolver and fire skyward, and you see a bird drop out of the air and land in the dirt, and they spin the gun a couple of times and then put it deftly back into their holster, and then they pause, and you see them quirk their head a little bit, like they're turning an ear towards your window, and in an instant, in the blink of an eye, they've drawn that gun and turned to face you. You see a pale, desiccated person, and they smile for just a moment and pulls the trigger. A bullet rockets directly towards you, and the window closes.
The Critshow is a Critshow Studios production, edited and produced by Brandon Wentz with music by Jake Purley. You can find more information about us at thecritshowpodcast.com. To keep up to date with upcoming live shows, contests, and other special events, follow us at The Crit Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For even more weekly content, join us at patreon.com/thecritShow.